Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the session on data structures. In the last session, we have seen the types of data structures, and we will continue with this topic. Okay, in our previous session, we have seen that we are having two kind of data structures, primitive and non-primitive. Primitive data structures are the structures which cannot be derived from other data, and non-primitive data structures are derived from existing data structures. Okay, primitive data structure examples are like integer, character, float, whatever the primitive data types that you have studied in your C and C++. In case of non-primitive data structures, we have two kind of data structures again, linear and non-linear. Linear data structures are the structures where we will be storing the data elements in a sequence manner, like your array. We will be storing the element one after the other. Okay, in this manner, if we are storing, we will be calling that as linear data structure. In a sequence order, one after the other, we will be storing it in case of linear data structure. And non-linear data structure will not have any sequence, I can say. They will be storing the data in a random manner. Okay, we have seen the examples for linear data structures like arrays, linear linked list, and stack, and then queues. And here we have seen the examples like trees and graphs. And then see, these are the data structures onto which we will be working on, and we will be performing the operations like searching, sorting, insertion, deletion, updation. We will be doing. We will be discussing them one by one when it comes in our syllabus. But by the usage, by the storing style, by the accessing style, we can categorize our data structures also. And in this, we will talk about static and dynamic data structures. Static data structures. Static data structures are the data structures, or as we will be calling them as static data structure, if it is created before the program execution, or as simply I can say at the time of compilation only, if it has been created, then that kind of data structure is called as static data structure. In this, your data structure size is fixed. Say suppose for example, if we are talking about array, we will be declaring like this int a of 10, where the array size is very fixed and we will be storing only 10 elements. Okay, if it is created at the programming time, if it is created before the program execution, at the compilation time, then it will be called as static data structures. In our C++, you people can find a new keyword by using which we can create dynamic memory allocation. Means at the time of running the program only, we will be allocating the memory. That can be done in case of your dynamic memory allocation, dynamic data structures, I can say, where we people will be having a data structure which can grow and shrink according to the programmer's view, or else I can simply say that according to your requirement, we can increase the size, we can decrease the size. In your dynamic data structures, I can take an example like linked list. Here we will be not having any predefined size. We can add the data, we can add the elements, we can delete the elements also. Generally, the structure will be like this. For linked list, we will be having data and we will be having the address for next element, and we will be having the data for the next element, and we will be having the next element's address. Like this, according to your requirement, the memory will be increased, or the size of the data structures will be increased in case of dynamic data structure. And then next we can have persistent data structure and ephemeral data structure. Then here the question comes is that what do you mean by persistent data structure? See, when we are having the data structures, in the data structure we will be storing what? Data. Onto this data we will be performing what? Operations like searching, sorting, insertion, deletion, updation. All the things can be performed onto your data structure, that I can say. But before performing the operation we will be having a kind of data, after performing the operation we will be having a kind of data. If you are available with these two data, before the updation and after the updation, if you are available with these two kind of data, then your data structure will be called as persistent data. What it is? Persistent data. In a programming language like ML programming language, we will be having a data types which will be holding the previous data and updated data. Okay, the data type is associated with the operations like append and reverse. Means you can have the appended one, means updated version, and you can have the reverse one. And means before updating, you people will be having some data now that will be taken. Okay, and after this we are having ephemeral data structure. See, an ephemeral data structure is one that supports operations only on the most recent updated data, or else if it is available with only updated version, then that kind of data structure is called as ephemeral data structure. Okay, this is your main difference between your persistent and ephemeral data structures. Okay, this is the brief introduction that you should remember about your persistent and ephemeral data structure. Generally, all the operations can be performed onto your data structure. If you are available with your previous version and updated version, then it will fall under persistent data structure. If it is only available with your updated data, then it will fall under ephemeral. In some applications, you might have observed this. While you are submitting your data, it will be giving a message that after the submission you can't edit the data. So you will be not available with the previous data, only updated data will be available for the customer. Such kind of data structure is ephemeral data structure. If the previous version is also available, if the updated version is also available, then this is your persistent data structure. Okay, and after this we can categorize our data structure. We can categorize our data structure based on the accessing method. Based on what? Accessing method. Here I can classify them as sequential, access data structure, and direct access data structure. Direct access data structure. See, by the name itself you can understand, if your data structure is accessing the elements in a sequential manner, one after the other, just like your array. See, if I am having first element, second element, third element, I will be going for inserting of elements one after the other. Simply, I will go for linked list here. I won't go for array here. Why? Because your array is direct access method. Because we will be having some index number over here, by which directly I can access the elements. That is the direct method. Okay, if I am going for my linked list, I will be having an element and I will be having the next element's address here. I will be having element, I will be having next element's address here. Like this we will be storing the data in your linked list. So when I want to access the third element, directly I can't go for the third element here. Just I need to pass the first element, second element, and then I will be getting what? Third element. So that will fall under what? Sequential data structure. The real-time example for your sequential data structure is your tape. That means we will be having a tape recorder where we will be putting the tape, in which we will be having 6 songs. Say suppose if you are having 6 songs, if you want to listen to the 5th song, then you need to forward first song, second song, third song, and fourth song. Then you people will get what? 5th song. Directly you can't play 5th song directly in your tape recorder. But in case of your direct access data structure, you people will be having an option called direct access by the means of indexes. By the means of index, I can say. Example is your array. See, we will be having number of elements into our array. We will be having some indexes. By the index, I will be getting this element. By the index, I will be getting this element. In the similar manner, you can observe in reality while you are using CDs or else some other kind of data devices like music player. Directly you can access the track which you want to play. Okay, but it cannot happen in case of what? Your linked list. That is the difference between linear sequential access and direct access, I can say. Okay, and say if I'm talking about elements in this particular thing, if I want to access nth element in your data structure, then I need to go for n minus 1 first, and then I will go for n. But in case of your array, directly I can access the nth element by giving the index. Okay, this is the major data structures that we could discuss in our today's session. We have seen what the kind of data structures: static and dynamic data structure. Static data structure is your array, dynamic data structure is linked list. Okay, and how we will be arranging the data memory. Okay, and persistent and ephemeral data structures. If you are having the previous version and updated version, both kind of data if you are available with, then it will fall under persistent data. If you are available with only updated version, then it will be falling under ephemeral data structure. Okay, and then we are having sequential access data structure and direct access data structure. In this we will be accessing the data element one after the other, and in this we will be accessing the data randomly. Means whatever the data that you want to access, you can directly access them by giving the index like this. Okay, this is it for today, and in the next session we will be discussing few more terminologies. Which is related to your data structure. That's it for today. If you are having any doubts, just let me know by your comments, and you can use your WhatsApp to ask your doubts. Thank you.